So let's just feel the beautiful stillness that's here with us. Most of you, if not all of you, are at the service today. Let's take a breath into the inner kingdom. Just allowing ourselves to rest there and noticing that even as we rest there, we can let the meeting unfold, let whatever is said, whatever is discussed, whatever we come to today, let the agenda unfold from that inner kingdom. As we open our hearts, all of us giving our blessing to this community meeting, to each other, to all that unfolds here, knowing that whatever unfolds is for the highest good and is bringing us forward as a sacred community. You know, the Buddha always said that one of the great blessings on the spiritual path are those that we do our spiritual practices with. So this is one of the great blessings, is to be able to come together as a community today to pray and to plan the steps ahead. So lastly, just let's have a wonderful time. Let's have a great time of joy as we celebrate together today the sacred community in our community meeting. From that. And so it is. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Craig, for setting the tone and the spirit here for this annual membership meeting that we have all gathered here for. What a fabulous turnout. Really. Thank you all for coming and being here. And you are the community, you are the meeting, so couldn't happen without you. So thank you. Okay, well, I don't really have a gavel, so I now call to order the annual membership meeting of Unity of Tustin for 2024. Mary Jean, do we have a quorum? Fabulous. Fabulous. I will now do a roll call of your current board of directors members. When I call your name, if you would kindly stand up. Kathy Andrews, our vice president, is not here in person. She'll be here in spirit later on during the meeting. She has provided some video and so forth. Maricela Vasquez Pini, if you would stand. This is our secretary.
Can you hear me? Okay, no problem.
Kim Manning, our treasurer.
And I can hear it
Bruce
is
Baird, our member at large.
not terrible. Just so you know. But
myself, Connie Carter, your president. All right. Our first order of business is the agenda approval. The agenda was handed out as you came in and signed in. If you've had a chance to scan that, look that over, see if it kind of follows and makes sense to you. And having that be so, do I have a motion to approve our agenda for today? Steve, thank you. Do I have a second? Mayor, thank you. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Okay. The motion carries. And Maricela, did you get those names? Perfect. Thank you very much. Our next order of business are the minutes approval. And again, we handed those out at the table as you signed in. Don't know if you've had a chance to look through them, and even if you did, if you remember what happened last year and have any corrections, additions, or alterations. Are there any changes to the minutes from last year as presented? No. All right. With that, is there a motion to approve the minutes as provided? Thank you very much, Susan. Got that. Is there a second? Joe Schwally, thank you. With that, I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. You're so suggestible. I can make you say anything. Nevertheless, the motion carries. Okay, with you're now infamous. With that business out of the way, if I can now give the president's report. On behalf of the board of directors, the spiritual ministry team, and the staff, we welcome you here to this annual membership meeting. Thank you so much for being here. As your president, it's my privilege to review the accomplishments that we had this last year, and they are many, and also to talk about what is to come. Many of these topics will be covered by my esteemed colleagues later on, so I'm just going to touch on them right now as kind of a high-level highlight. So first of all, our spiritual ministry team. Amazing. So our brilliant team of spiritual ministers continues to demonstrate unity in diversity. And by that, I mean they present talks, salons, classes, retreats, meditation, that form a congruent message, even though there are three of them doing three separate things. It's a congruent message from their own different viewpoints. Next is a powerful demonstration of our prosperity consciousness and our faith in unity of Tustin. It took both of these things for everyone to come together and retire our mortgage debt completely in a time where many churches are facing foreclosure. So if we didn't have that prosperity consciousness, and if we didn't have faith in this community, that could never have happened, and it did. So that, on we go. On we go. We completed our security grant. So there were lights, there were locks, there were fences. There was $200,000 in grant money that was gotten for us, mostly through the work of Mary Jean. And we spent it down to the last penny. We left nothing on the table, and that worked out really well. Our youth and family life is absolutely flourishing. Under the inspiring direction of Aaron Hofstetter, and we'll learn more about that shortly. Our spirit group ministry is growing and strengthening with Kathy Andrews as our leadership in the capacity of spirit group program leader. This is a new part-time staff position that she has stepped forward to fill, and she's doing a brilliant job with that. As I said, she won't be there in person, but she'll present some video about spirit groups. Our community reach is expanding our sharing and caring through Beverly Campbell, Seniors for Seniors, and Community Connections. I don't know if Beverly's... Yeah, just amazing. We've increased our outreach to our greater community, and we'll continue to widen our reach this year. Maricela will speak to that in a little bit. We fulfilled a long-standing vision of creating the nonprofit Meditation Gardens of Orange County. We'll hear more about that. We've been blessed with the addition of people working off their community service hours here. You may have seen them working diligently. It helps Marco. They present so much productivity, you know, and they work very hard. So we're blessed to have them with us. More and more of us are exploring the quantum living process. We're working towards potentially getting a preschool on our campus. These things are ongoing and strengthening us. And then I can't say enough about these next people. Our MUTs, our prayer chaplains, our welcoming team, our sacred grounds ministry, our choir, our prayer chaplains, our hospitality, our silent prayer, and usher ministries continue to be the foundation of the Unity of Tustin. All those groups I mentioned are peopled by all of you, and that's what keeps us going. So thank you all for that. Absolutely. And now, less tangible, but even more importantly, I feel, we've grown in number and we've grown in unity. We've developed a closeness and ways of navigating through conflict conflict and change and differences of opinion that in the past could have resulted in division and discord. And that really doesn't happen so much anymore. We have evolved and matured as a community, and that gives us such strength to focus on the things that matter rather than things that don't. I see that as a result of the consciousness and skills of our leadership and our united commitment to spiritual growth. That's what we're here for. That's what it's all about. Our spiritual growth and realization of our shared divinity. That's why we're here. And we're really into that now instead of diversions. With a focus on collaboration and transformation, we are in a place of stability and energy such that we can send our light outwards in our thriving radiance. When we're this congruent here, that gives us the energy and the platform to send it out. And this next year, we're going to be focusing quite a bit on that. It's very exciting. And now I'll close with two quotes that point to our present and our future. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. And then finally, the best way to predict the future is to create it together. So that's it. Thank you. Let's see what I'm supposed to do. So next we have our spiritual ministry team report. I invite Reverend Shara Masinska, our Chief Evolutionary Officer, to deliver the spiritual ministry team report virtually.
Hello, Unity of Tustin family. Can you see me and hear me? I'm going to take that as a yes. Is that a yes, Tony? Am I being heard and seen? Yes, yay! Okay. I am delighted to be here virtually with you all and to add to Connie's amazing report. And it's so true. That's so beautiful, Connie, that the best way to predict the future is to create it. And I believe we're doing that. You know, we are radiantly thriving as we move into our third year of coaching to become an integral ministry. So my sense is that our coaching program, along with the steady harmony of our spiritual ministry team, collaborative leadership as a board, engagement as a community, all of this undergird the sustained stability, peace, creativity, and health that we've been experiencing here at Unity of Tustin. So we can embody our spiritual principles as a collective, as Connie so inspiringly shared with us. And the core of what we're doing, core of integral ministry, is moving from ministry which is centered around a minister to ministry which is centered around our evolutionary purpose. And that's to transform lives. That's for us to be together, minister together as a we in co-ownership and collective empowerment. And we're increasingly learning that that era of looking outside of ourselves for leadership and evolution has passed. That was Craig's talk today. The kingdom of God is within us individually and within us as Unity of Tustin. And while we always want to keep our system open to emerging new wisdom, our aspiration is to become the embodied beloved community, you know, a sanctuary and a role model of embodied cooperation and love through our own empowerment and maturation process as a we. So we create transformational spaces by and for each other through spirit groups. We do our deeper shadow work so we can be in relationship without blame and incoherence through Byron Katie's The Work and through the quantum living process, which Erin and I will begin teaching regularly in addition to Lisa Kolobar. All board members have completed the QLP Shadow Work program and are reading and practicing the 15 commitments to conscious leadership. The spiritual ministry team, which has turned out to be a very effective model that we reaffirm as the new normal here at Unity of Tustin. It offers multiple spiritual perspectives. And as a community, we increasingly come together in town halls, in listening and heartstorming circles, in advisory committees to creatively problem solve from the wisdom of our we, which was beautifully manifested and demonstrated in our We Free Unity opportunity. So we also guide new community members in a 6 to 12 month process of engagement and belonging, after which they are equipped to move into ownership and become governing members. And especially for newer members, we're moving from the tithing model, which used to work very well, but increasingly does not in current times, to educating our community on what it really costs to run our church through the cooperative share. So, not to take away from Kim's thunder, but I am thrilled to say we ended 2023 breaking even for the third year in a row. So that is pretty fabulous accomplishment for our community. And for 2024, our cooperative share, which is the per person per month amount every person needs to give to keep our community radiantly thriving, is $325. And that's about 10% higher than last year. So as Connie demonstrated, we're innovating ways to decrease the financial burden on us, on our we, while safeguarding our longevity. We've established the Meditation Gardens of Orange County to secure grants and donations outside of our church community. And we're exploring entities that can create strong recurring revenue, like the preschool. However, the circulatory system that most ensures our vitality and health comes from us. It comes from our own giving. And whether inspired by tithing, good spiritual practice, or pure joy, as Reverend Blair taught last week, we are the ones we've been waiting for. And the loaves and fishes story is really important here because it teaches us that when we all give what we can, when we give in equal integrity according to our means, there is always enough. So the leadership team is asking all of us to prayerfully discern what each of us can continue to give. And if you've been given the same amount for a long period of time, see if you can increase your monthly contribution to keep up with rising expenses. And to ensure our continuity, we are infusing legacy giving into our culture. Our legacy initiative is inspired by the saying, "Blessed are we who plant trees under whose shade we shall not sit." And we are ensuring a legacy not only to create a bridge, but really as an act of faith that divine order is creating something from nothing, new forms of radiantly thriving ministry relevant for our changing world through and as us. We've had 75 years of our Unity community and life-affirming teachings, and we faithfully envision and affirm 75 more. So with great gratitude and joy to serve as Minister and Chief Evolutionary Officer for our beloved Unity of Tustin community, I will end my report with giving us all a warm Unity blessing. And I want us to do this together. It's going to be this. Unity of Tustin, we love you, we bless you, and we love us, we bless us, and we truly appreciate us, and we behold the Christ we are. So let's do that together. Have everyone rub your hands together and really look around the room, see and delight in the beloved community we are. And then together, Unity of Tustin, we love us, we bless us, and we truly appreciate us, and we behold the Christ we are. So God bless, and I hand the sacred virtual talking stick back to Connie, our exceptional president and today's fine MC. And I'll be here lurking in the background, enjoying the annual meeting with everyone else. Love you.
Well, thank you so much, Laura, for your SMTL report. Your vision, your depth, your scope of experience, your leading spirit, your evolutionary way of being, combined with a wonderful collaboration with Craig and Reverend Blair, have provided the leadership that we will need in order to move into next year and accomplish the things that we will. But you make it easier, so thank you very much for that. Now, I would like to invite Kim Manning to the platform to deliver the Treasurer's Report. You've all been waiting for. Hello. The most interesting report of all. Are we still here and will we be here next year? Yes, we will. So can we go next? Do I have a clicker? Yep. How does this work? Is it just this next thing? Aha. No? Yeah, that's right. I don't think I'm supposed to have a blue screen. Is that the wrong? Do another? No. There. Nope. Do you know how it works? Don't ask me. Okay. Can you go forward? Yeah. Okay. Next one. There you go. Okay. So last time these numbers were really tiny and you couldn't see them. So I condensed things as much as I possibly could. So this is how we ended last year. If you look at the bottom, net income says $8,169, which is a little more than breaking even. And accountants would like to be really conservative about money and not say, oh yeah, we're just making zillions of dollars. So it's kind of like a break even, a little bit of an income. But it also includes a lot of unusual things in it. For one thing is depreciation. If you look at in the expenses, last expense is $59,000 of depreciation. That is not a cash outflow. We didn't pay for that this year because that's our buildings and we bought those years ago. Just paid off our mortgage, so we're not even paying for those buildings anymore. They're paid for, but that's the way of like showing an expense that we have like a cost. So that was not a cash outflow. And then up at the top, let's start at the top. The offerings income $330,000, and stock donations were $78,000. And then the We for Unity income. So this is a really unusual item we have not had before. So that was $102,000. We actually had about $122,000 total, but another $20,000 wasn't collected until 2024. So it's not showing here yet. And then we had a FEMA grant, which is also unusual. And if you see that the revenue for that is $147,000. If you go down 4 lines under expenses where it says, or 3, FEMA grant expense, $200,000. So that's a timing difference because we had to pay out of pocket and we got reimbursed later. So at the end of the year, the state owed us $53,000 for that. So this is kind of like showing like a negative for that. So this $8,000 really includes an unusual revenue of the We for Unity and an unusual kind of expense for the grant. So that's why it's kind of like, yeah, we did make net income, but I don't want to go saying, yeah, go spend lots of money or anything like that. Okay, so is that clear? Yeah. So anyway, we are doing well. We keep growing, we keep expanding our staff slowly, very slowly, but every time I do a cash projection, it comes out. And when I started as treasurer 1 year ago, we had about $100,000 in our bank account. And right now, after paying off our mortgage, we have $117,000 in our bank account. So that's kind of what I look at. Do we have money? Yeah, we're doing well. Next. Yes. Here's our balance sheet. This is as of December, before we paid off the mortgage. So we had $133,000 in cash, because that includes some of that We for Unity. It also was like a negative because of that FEMA money that the state owed us. So that's something that had not been recorded yet. And then down below, you have the mortgage of $89,000, which got paid off in February, the beginning of February. And so we are, we're doing well. We have cash. We did not touch our investments. We haven't touched those for years because there were some years where I think we were digging into those. They used to be higher. So we have not had to touch that. So that's good. Is that clear so far? Yes. Okay, can we go to the next one? Okay, here's the budget for 2024. So we added 8%, we just estimate like an 8% increase in our offerings. So that last year was 333,000. This year it's 357. So it's a goal. And considering how we've been doing well, it's probably a reasonable goal. Stock donations, similar to last year, a little bit higher. And then I just broke down into some other, the next one, MGOC shared services. So this is the meditation gardens, which just, it got incorporated and it's still kind of getting off the ground. We have a bank account. We got that like in December. So all this is still kind of new. So we budgeted about 17,000 income for that because ideally we would get more, but we really don't know because we have to get out there and start hustling for those grants. And then the expenses, we've got salaries. I included all salaries for all staff and minister and the SMT and for contractors who work here. So 306,000, and then the utility supplies, everything else, 225,000. So we've got it. We're budgeting like to have just to break even. Great if we do better, even better. Can I go to the next one, please? Okay, and so here are some items I kind of mentioned before that really pertain to 2023. But they're not going to show, they didn't show in 2023, so they're going to happen in 2024. So that FEMA security grant income that I mentioned. So in January, we received that additional $52,000 that we had to put out of pocket in November and December. We received it back in January. And then the mortgage principal repaid in 2024, which is just amazing that everyone was so generous and we have been able to repay that. So we don't have any liabilities other than little things, nothing big. In the We Free Unity amounts, 20,000 is what we didn't collect until January. That was committed as it was pledged in earlier in December and November. And then the We Free Unity excess collections. So our mortgage was about 90,000. That was our goal, and we got 122,000. So we have 34,000, and actually it was 88,000, I guess, that we had to pay out. The loan was 88,000 when we paid it off. So we have an extra $34,000 that people gave for that campaign. So those are going to be spent on like a capital items, and that's to be determined. But like big repairs or new things or things like that are things that you would get a loan for. We're not going to spend it like on utilities and that sort of thing, because that's what our regular giving is for. You go to the next one. Okay, so that's all I have to say. I'm the treasurer of the board, and I'm also the treasurer of the meditation gardens. So I'm going to talk about that. Can we go to the next one? Okay, so Steve Stokel is our president. There he is, yay! Yes, and our vice president is Doug Anderson. Yeah, over there. And the secretary is Sandra Schoonover. Okay, and I'm the treasurer, as I said, and I have Dr. Edeni Lara, who's not here today, I don't think. She's not feeling well. And Reverend Cheryl Moshinska just joined us as part of our board, or as our part of it. And Connie Carter is our newest member. She has given so much to the grounds. Look at the next one, please. Okay, this one's a little smaller. Sorry about that. So this is our financial summary for the meditation gardens for 2023. So we just got started. We didn't even have a bank account until December. So, we're doing okay considering we didn't have a bank account until December. So We got individual donations for $1,550. And we're not trying to get those from the community. There were just a few people that gave to kind of just get it going, but we're not looking for our community to donate to this because this is a secular nonprofit, and we really want to go out, people who would not want to give to a religious organization, but would give to the meditation gardens as a more of a source of meditation and well-being and that sort of thing. And then we got a grant. Patty got out and hustled, and she got a grant for it. Yay! That was $1,000 from the Tustin Community Foundation. So we got that before we even had the bank account open. So we got $2,550 of revenues. And we had some startup expenses. I mean, because we didn't have any money in the NGOC account, the church paid those and gave us a little loan. So the church had authorized up to $5,000 to help us with startup expenses. So we spent $3,053. And it was basically that was legal expenses because we wanted to make sure this was set up right because we want the Unity of Testament board has control over the Meditation Gardens board because the church owns the property and we want the church to maintain that control. So we worked with a lawyer and set it up. It's called a sort of direct, I forgot what it's called. I was very involved in it, but I forgot. But anyway, so basically Unity of Testament is kind of like the sole member that can say, this board member, they don't have our vision, I think we need to go, or no, we don't like that decision, or you can't do that. So they maintain that control over the board, the Meditation Gardens board. And we had $5 bank charges. So at the end of it, we had $2,545 of cash, and we had that loan payable to Unity of Tustin, $3,000. So it shows like a negative net assets or equity, but that's because the church had to loan us some startup money. We'll go to the next. Oh, okay. And that's end of mine. And I think it's on Maricela.
Thank you so much, Kim. We are so blessed to have you on both boards with your expertise and your excellence. I don't know if you all know, but this is what Kim does, and she's really darn good at it. Thank you very, very much. All right. So next, I would like to invite Maricela Vasquez-Penny to the platform to introduce our new board members, to receive nominations for next year's election committee representative, and to give an outreach update. So you'll be up here a while.
Good afternoon. I'm delighted to present the election committee report and the outreach report. So this year's election committee included Reverend Shara Mazinska, myself, and Jean-Claude Pinto. And our job is to ensure the integrity of the board elections and that all vacant seats were filled by qualified candidates. And I'd like to report that we have done that. Thank you. Now I'd like to invite our new board members to the platform. Holly Leo.
Yay. Carrie Deming. Doug Anderson.
And I'd like to just ask you to say just a few words, from your heart. And I'll start with Terry.
Good afternoon. Pleasure to be here. Very excited to see what this is all about and get to know all of you much better. I'm excited for the future of our church. I think we have a lot going on here, a lot of positive things going on, and I look forward to being a part of that. So,
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be part of this church and part of the board, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Doug Anderson. I want to thank all of you that supported the three of us and throughout this whole process. We're all three looking forward to it, especially me. I'm very excited to start participating at this level and doing good things for this community. And again, thank you very much. Bruce, thank you personally for inviting me.
Thank you. And on behalf of Unity of Tustin, we're so grateful that you said yes. So thank you all very, very much. Now I'd like to call up our election committee chair, Jean-Claude Pinto. Oh. And he will be calling for a nominee from the floor for our 2025 election committee chair.
Thank you, Maricela. Yes, just to remind you, last time when I was nominated, it was a call from the floor. And we requested anybody to nominate somebody. And I just want to make you aware that don't be nervous like I was when I was called out, because you wonder, what the hell am I supposed to do as an election committee member? But realize, I just thought it was the easiest job that I had with a committee with having Shara and Maricela. All we had to do is to validate the resumes that we had, and said we had wonderful candidates. So apart from that, so I had nothing really to do very much, but just be a part of the team that we kind of confirmed and validated our candidates, because all the information of advertising for recruiting somebody to be on the board was already done prior to that. So with that said, so just to tell you how easy the job was, now I'm going to call for nominations from the floor to nominate somebody that would be willing to become a team member of the election committee. So from the floor, if anybody's willing to nominate somebody, or here's the other thing, you can nominate yourself too, if you feel brave enough. So do I hear some volunteers? All right. Okay, we got Gary Goldschaf. So thank you very much. Thank you so much, Gary. And I know Gary well, so you'll do a fine job. With that, my job is concluded. Back to you, Maricela. Oh, okay. I guess that's what needs, right? All do we say aye for? And we do have any nice people here? Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much, Maricela.
Thank you, Jean-Claude. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you, Tony. Now I'd like to quickly provide a Unity of Tustin outreach report and this year's outreach opportunities. Okay, that's tiny. But there was a lot. There was a lot to try to fit into one slide. As you all know, last year we participated in two big community events, the Orange County Pride Fair and the Dino Dash. Both events were a great success in terms of connecting with the greater community and promoting our church and sharing our message and our mission with various peoples who would have never known about us but for these opportunities. Did these ventures pay off? You may be asking. The answer is yes, and I'll tell you why. There was without question a lot of interest. There were a lot of people who, really appeared interested and wanted to learn more, just from those brief little connections that we had. But remember, we're new to this scene. And I think that it's going to take some more time, some more work, and some strategic planning in order to see more fruitful results. We currently have a committee in place that is focused on outreach opportunities to engage our local cities, neighborhoods, and possibly even surrounding cities. So this slide here, if you can read it, is basically a list of the annual events from 2024 Tustin Parks and Recreation. And there are just a lot of opportunities where we could participate in and, just kind of help spread the word. But in order to participate in a lot of these events, there is a cost. So what we hope to do is to narrow it down to maybe 2 or 3 events and really focus our energy and our time to really execute these events where it's going to be, very profitable for our community. And lastly, I would like to say if you have interest in the outreach ventures, please see me or Jeff or Deanna Parks. We are part of the outreach community, and we can give you more information. And we do need all the help we can get. This is a group effort, and if you have marketing skills, that would be awesome. So if you're out there and it calls to you, please let us know. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you all for your time, and I'd like to invite Aaron Hostetler to the platform. Thank you.
Hi. So exciting. Oh my goodness. Lots of good stuff. So my name is Erin Hostetler, and I am the lucky one who gets to be with our youth and our families. It's such a blessing. And as when Reverend Shara asked me to present an update regarding youth and family life, it's birthday season. Unity of Tustin, we just celebrated 75 years. And so, I really was called to exploring more about what it means to co-create 75 more, right? It's a big year, 2024. So after I asked myself, okay, celebrating 75 years of existing in the world, of course, naturally, the next question that came up to me was, how do we keep it going for another 75, another 80, another 90 years? In the greater cosmic system, 2024 is a universal 8-year in numerology. Okay, so meaning we are leaving behind a period of introspection and moving into a year of prosperity. And we are, right? Yeah, we are. Yes. As we already heard from other presenters today, it's abundantly clear we are undeniably prosperous at Unity of Tustin. So in youth and family life, we're tapping into the 8 energy as well. We've been feeling and seeing the effects of this energetic boost bolstering our button-popping expansion as parents come forward as engaged leaders, and we attract families who find a spiritual home here. I see the powerful 8 energy in our abs. Oh, not those abs. No, these abs are abundance, balance, and success. This is our trajectory in 2024 and beyond. A radiantly thriving spiritual community with youth, families, and beyond showing up in the world with abundance, balance, and success. Working together, radiating unconditional love from our hearts, moving us ever deeper along the spiral from me to we. And no, Reverend Shara and I did not compare notes, but we're totally tapped into the whole me to we, right? This is a theme that's going on here. So how do we support the complexity of our expanding youth and family life? Well, I have a couple ideas. One is the adoption of the evolutionary purpose statement and integral spiritual model. So that's what we've been experiencing in the greater church right? The adoption of the evolutionary purpose, the quantum living processes, and that's what we're implementing in youth and family life. So transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in our world. How do we apply that to youth and family? Integral spirituality is participatory. Members taking ownership, establishing roles that each member counts on one another for, creating a culture where parents are stepping forward as engaged leaders. In the context of, right, our wake up, clean up, grow up, and show up. We're committed to doing the internal work necessary that enables us to show up in our highest selves. And of course, we continue with the curriculum of the quantum living approach, which develops emotional literacy. And that's not just for adults, right? Emotional literacy in our youth so that they can grow and thrive. And of course, the wonderful living curriculum, right? Unity's living curriculum, which acknowledges and honors the innate wisdom that is with all of us, right? We draw out that innate wisdom, and it's centered on experiential spiritual exploration. The second thing that has come up for me in this is the exponential growth in 2023 that we experienced in Q4. So the tail end of 2023, we really well, quite literally, I guess, exploded. You know, it felt. We have, such a celebration. We have currently 50 participants, 12 youth spiritual guides. And in 2024, our goals are to, and right now it's actually happening, we are re-emerging the Youth of Unity, which is the high school age. Yes, it's self-governing. It is self-governing, so they learn in their meetings of the Robert's Rules of Order. They are becoming more active within the greater community, perhaps, even assisting in service and other ministries. It's really, really exciting. We're also on the vision board is also an emerging parent group, and then collaborating with other Unity chapters. So we're not going to play in our own backyard anymore. We're going to get out. We're going to have some fun. So as you know, and you come to understand me, I can go on and on about youth and family. So I'm just going to close out in sharing some intentions. I'm going to ask all of you to kind of share that with me in a prayer of sorts. So, may the children joyously and lovingly live their gift purpose, lighting the path for others to come. As these ancient beings come from Source with their unique gifts, may we steward their growth in a way that allows for their full expression. May the little ones grow, unbridled and wild, their creative heart a compass guiding them always home. We are the promise of the prayers of our mothers and the long line of mothers before them. We stand together as beads on a string, carrying this prayer home. And so it is. Namaste.
Thank you for that report, Erin. I remember when you first joined the board years ago, you were a bright star then, and you have never stopped blazing ever since then. If there's anybody living their purpose and lighting the way for those to come, there you sit. So thank you. Now we would like to have a presentation of our membership program that will be with Reverend Blair, who will be joining us via video. Is that ready to go already? Yes. Thank you, Tony.
Hello, Edith Testament. Thank you for being a part. It's my honor to serve you and
as a part of the spiritual ministry team. This is our 4th year. This way, it's innovative, and many people, many other ministers and churches asking me about working for us and to let you know. It's a joy for me to work with Shara and Craig. Such a wonderful and expression, and most of all, just being with each other, with a sense of the power of the presence of spirit of the devil in every moment. Just completed our recovery workshop, and in response to that, good work for people. Coming up, it's interplay, dovetailing with the process. That's what people are requesting about communication skills. And so there's a process called the nonviolent communication. It's about details with the quantum process is that it's about identifying our needs through the feelings that we have. And once we understand those feelings and needs, then we can have ways of communicating and listening to others to help them be present to their feelings and their needs. And this leads to a wonderful way of communication and deepening relationships. So, studying a book, Project by Derek Rydell. But I'm working. So there's a lot of rich materials. Looking forward to that. So, spiritual ministry team are exploring ideas for our fall spirit groups. Such a wonderful response from the bar. Something more special for you. And above all, I want you are that independent spirit that's there. You, it's instrument of love and light and joy wherever you are. So again, thank you for being a part of our church work. It's a joy to be a part of it myself. God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Blair, for that report, and for your leadership and wisdom in that area and in all others that you provide for this community. Your leadership and wisdom, we're blessed to be in creative partnership with you, so thank you for that. I now invite Bruce Baird to the platform to deliver an update on the bookstore. Bruce? I'll just leave it to you.
We all miss Kay. Kay Hultgren was the backbone. She was the spirit. She was the volunteer manager of the Unity of Tustin bookstore for many years. Since her passing, a group of past bookstore volunteers and current members that have a real love and interest in the bookstore met 3 times now, explored what the future would look like without Kay. Many ideas have been put forward to maintain the spirit and this feeling of the bookstore as a place to explore what Unity is all about, maybe to find the perfect gift for a friend or a loved one, to just browse books from various points of view on all the different spiritual paths. Maybe the future should be a welcome center for your guests, or a reading room for those seeking a sanctuary. Maybe a hybrid of a store and a sanctuary. Discussions are still ongoing as to what it might look like in the future. One decision has been made after input from many congregants. The board and the Unity leadership has decided that the future bookstore or welcoming center will be moved to the library room. And the library room is just over 50% of the space that was the current bookstore. Much of the current inventory will be liquidated at a discount sale in the very near future. The proceeds from this will be used to support the welcoming or bookstore ministry. The board has decided to support raising funds to beautify the library space to make it as welcoming as possible. This new emerging ministry needs much discussion, decisions, and most important, commitment. The store center will need to be managed and manned by a cooperative or co-op group of volunteers. If you have an interest in the future of this ministry and would like to help out, please contact Stephanie Aho or AJ Letcomb. Complete a sign-up form, and I noticed before coming in that a number of you have already signed up to help with this. Thank you. It's at the welcoming table, and you're welcome to still sign up today and also next Sunday. So the next, let's call it a Heart and Mind Bookstore Circle, will be held on April 2nd at noon, and it will be facilitated by Shara. And I hope that many of you can attend and help with developing this new ministry. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bruce, for that report and for your leadership in a topic area that is very complex and very important and integral to the heritage of Unity of Tustin. That's not easy, and thank you for stepping forth and doing that. Let's see, our next topic is spirit groups. And as I mentioned earlier, Kathy Andrews, our vice president, could not be with us today, but she has prepared some, I don't know what you call them, video slides or something or other that Tony knows all about. Not really. And she is our spirit group program leader. As I mentioned earlier, that's a newly created part-time staff position, and she fills it beautifully. And so now we'll hear some things from Kathy.
Hello, I'm Kathy, and I'm the outgoing vice president of your church board, making my report remotely. I've gained so much during my time of service to the church community as a member of the board. You may have heard that I'm transitioning to a newly created role, that of Spirit Group Program Leader. What does it signify that Unity of Tustin has a Spirit Group Program Leader, and what is my role? Basically, I'll mostly continue to do what I've been doing. The official role recognizes the foundational importance of spirit groups to everything that Unity of Tustin is, and where we're going as individuals and as a community. Despite me being a tree-hugging hippie, my goal is to provide continuity to this very important program. You've most likely seen me at the activities table after service during sign-up weeks. I will also continue to learn, grow, and be supported by participating in weekly online huddles with other Spirit Group program leaders at meetings organized by Unity Worldwide Ministries. I'll meet with Reverend Shara monthly and participate in an annual conference in Missouri, which coincides with the Ministers' Conference. The interconnectedness and exchange at several levels helps foster continual evolution, flow, and growth. I should say something about what a huddle is. It's a gathering without traditional teaching, not formal mentoring. The intent is more for a level playing field of exchange. We relate challenges and successes with curiosity, and we exchange ideas and experience to develop responses to what's emergent. Hello, I'm Kathy, and I'm the outgoing vice president of your church original intent of this slide was to remind you all of the value of every single component of spirit groups, from the assessment at the first meeting to the ending celebration at week 10. However, there was an explosion. You're seeing the results. It was an effort, I tell you, to restrain the words to one font size and to keep them on the page. I also want to take this time to be sure to recognize Holly, Irene, and Russell, plus everybody who took any leadership role in one of the 4 spirit groups this winter for creating the environment in which all these great things happened and continue to happen. The original intent of spirit groups are working. Anyone who has participated in spirit groups can attest to the success, whether it was the depth and breadth of new friendships, a fresh realization that you voiced during a lively discussion, or the joy in sharing a favorite recipe at a potluck. One measure of success is the number of participants. The purpose of this slide is to report on the spreadsheet I recently assembled. Thanks for listening, and at this point, I believe I turn the virtual microphone over to Mary Jean Hawes.
Oh, can you go back? We want to see those results. Pardon? That's why I just want to see that. Oh, okay. All right.
So before we go to our question and answer commentary, I just want to say a special thank you to Connie Carter. You know, I work a lot with board presidents, and I think all of you know what a contribution she's made to our church, whether it's, I mean, physically out there cutting the lawn, going so above and beyond in so many things. My thanks to her is a little more personal because, and it's probably selfish, because when I call Connie, she is so responsive. I always know that I can get an answer from her and I don't have to wait a week until she gets to me. This means a lot to me in my job, having someone that is responsive and really truly cares, but is also someone that brings a level of stability and focus and really maturity to the whole thing. So thank you, Connie. Just come up here just for a second. This is a very small token of our appreciation. We also have an appreciation for Kathy, who's stepping off the board, but thank you, Connie, so much.
Thank you.
Oh.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have another mic, Tony, that we can run? Yes. If someone's willing to run the mic, this is now our time for question and answer or comments. Anybody? Who's got a question? Anybody? Okay.
This would be, hello, this would be for Kim. I noticed on the stock donations, we were going up on that. Was that stock donations over and above what was contributed towards We for Unity? Because I know some of that came in as stock.
We put We for Unity in one category, whether it was stock or, I mean, I think on our income statement, we have it separated, but on that condensed report, I put it all in one.
Okay. So the 83 that you're projecting for this next year was over and above what had come in on We Free.
Yes, not
Great.
It's got nothing to do with.
Great. And then the next one, I just wanted to mention, Marcella was talking about the events, and we just got information on the Orange County Pride Parade, and that is going to be October 5th. So mark your calendars, because we had a great turnout last year. It was really a great event to participate in.
Any more questions, Joe?
Yes, hello. My question's for our treasurer, if she's still there. We have a group of investments that the church has. I'm interested in what the value of that was at the beginning and end of 2023.
We're talking about the investment portfolio?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay, so the end, it was 248 is what I was showing in December. Is it 250?
Stock market is great.
Yeah, stock market's going up. We had about a $20,000 gain on it during the year because the stock market had been down for a while. So it's been gaining. So it went up 20,000. So I think it was about 228 at the beginning of the year, 248 at the end of the year, and now 258.
Okay, about what percent of our investment is in bonds and what in stocks?
Do you know?
I'm not there anymore, sorry guys. I don't know.
I'd have to look. I don't know. I can get back to you.
Though, I can get you a statement you can look at.
I beg your pardon?
There's a statement that comes every month. I can have you look at the statement.
It does show what our holdings are.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, anyone else? Bobby?
It was the bookstore sign that brought me to Unity. And I see that the bookstores underpin many of our speakers, many of our spirit group activities, and our other book groups. So I see the written word as foundational for unifying us here. It's an unusual group of people that have read these particular books and been influenced by these writings. The bookstore was actually really took off and took an upcharge under Meredith Van Steenwyck, who was a paid part-time, I believe, employee. And so I see that now the spirit groups have, sounds like a paid little funding there. So I'm wondering if, I know Kathy has she's high energy and she's got a lot of professional interests, but is there any way that we could combine, Bruce, the spirit group funding with the bookstores? Because I see the bookstores as being fundamental to the spirit groups and to everything we do here. I think that the bookstores deserve funding.
They have because it's a big job, right?
Is there a response that you're looking for? Or tell me, you just wanted to say something.
I wanted to put that out.
Okay. Beverly's right there.
I guess, Patty, I'm going to tell you to come to the next meeting.
This is my year for self-care.
Okay. Just to answer you, it's a difficult situation with the bookstore. There's a lot of people who love the bookstore. There's a great deal of nostalgia involved with this. And the group that is meeting is trying in every way possible to take a good look at this from a different point of view. And how is it benefiting Unity as opposed to what might come of it might benefit Unity. And so just be assured that you have people thinking the way you do at the meeting, but other people thinking other ways, because it's really in Unity's commission to be good stewards of what people give every time.
in the services. And it's up to the decisions to be made and how best to spend that for the whole community.
And as somebody who's tied to this church for 21 years and who has donated my own free books that I hope you're not going to discount, give them back to me. But the ones that were sitting out there on the table, I donated those to the church. So please don't just give them away. Although it freely give, freely receive.
Anyone else? Susan?
I would like to address the grounds people and bring up a subject that you're probably tired of hearing from me about, but it's dear, very dear to my heart. Does Unity of Tustin have any plans on bringing back the koi pond? And if not, are there plans to do something with that garden site, which now, if you don't mind me saying so, is an eyesore? And we could do something to make it better. If there is a group of people working on that, I do have some ideas. And if they could be of any use, please contact me.
Well, Susan, I also feel very strongly about Site 5 myself. I feel very strongly I don't want koi fish there. Number one, for reasons that I can discuss with you privately, but I think you know what they are. But Harvey has what I consider to be a really inspired plan for Site 5. I also want to see that enacted, and I'm hoping that the additional funds that were collected from the We Free Unity will go toward refurbishing Site 5, because I feel the same, that it really needs to be refurbished. I don't know if Harvey has anything to say about that.
I keep coming up with ideas for things, and ideas are only so good as there is a commitment. And for a number of years, we haven't been in a place where anybody could commit to where we go with it. With the new group in charge of the gardens, the group is at a place where we're looking at visions, where we look at the whole garden and say, what do we want this gardens to be and to express, so that we have a direction to move when there are proposals. So we're still at that state, but definitely the previous koi pond is one part there that is part of that, the concepts that are being looked at, and has some high interest. So there's no decisions made, and we're discussing with those who do gardens and site designs and plants and things. So it's in an infancy right now, and we don't have anything really locked in at this moment. I think that's right.
Being a little modest, because he does have a really good idea that I'll talk to you about later. So who's next? Anyone else?
Well, I'd just like to say something, but I don't know if this is where. The last two times, very recently, all the ministries have been mentioned, and the Reiki ministry has not been mentioned. And so I would love
mentioned in what
like today, yeah, we said the different ministries.
Some of it is that you guys were sort of off the radar for a while, and
during the pandemic,
during COVID. Okay, so we'll make a point.
Would you?
Oh, yeah, we'll make a point.
Yeah, we've been doing Reiki for the past year now. So.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Add that to the list. Any other questions? Any other comments? Joe?
Yes, I'd just like to. I'd just like to recognize Susan here for giving up her title of Director of Hospitality over there. A job well done for 12 years, and now she's stepping down. Thank you.
So, Craig, will you close out with prayer?
already over? Yes. Felt so great. It just flowed, didn't it? Wow. Yeah. So before I do the closing prayer, I just want to say just a couple of words to Connie. You know, I was thinking this week, Connie, you stepping off the board and the beautiful transition we had this past year. You know, nobody knew last year when Lisa stepped down how that would go. But I know that a lot of us had this great feeling that you were stepping into those shoes and that it was going to go the way it went, which was really smooth and dedicated. And I was thinking about these words from Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching. He said, the greatest leader is one whose presence is barely felt. No, think about that, really. It's the one who's behind the scenes guiding things subtly without imposing their will. And that sums you up so beautifully. So thank you. Yes. Thank you. Over this last couple of years, I think we all know the transitions we've gone through. And many people here had the right to feel this way. It's like, what's going to happen now? But everything has happened so beautifully with the radiance thriving and the thriving radiance. It's just been a wonderful journey. So thank you, Connie. Really. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's close our eyes as we finish together. You know, just as we began as the community, we end as the community, just focusing on the silence and the space that we're sharing today. And let's just take a breath as we did during the service today. Whatever wish that you have, or intention, or direction that you would like to see in this next year, bring it to maybe one word. I know we have radiance thriving, but there may be some direction or intention you have. And just bring that to one word and breathe it into your heart. This great wish, not only for yourself, but for the entire community and the way that it flows and moves during this coming year. And out of that, feel the power of grace already moving through our awareness to bring that to fruition, to bring to fruition everything that was discussed today, held in this great grace as we move together as a community with radiance thriving and thriving radiance. And knowing that not only is all that possible, but something that we can't even think about that's so great can also happen throughout this next year, completely and endlessly surprised by the Tao. And finally, I just want to thank everybody here who inspires me. All of those, as we said, behind the scenes, Mary Jean can be mentioned, Amanda, all the people on the board, everyone that does their role to keep this community moving forward in this beautiful and loving way. Harmony. And so it is. Thank you. Let's have a quick thing of the bell to make it official. Close your eyes. Here. Into the new year.
This meeting is now adjourned. Yay! Well done. Sign up for another job. Sign up for another job.